Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 1 p.m. on Saturday in Hong Kong. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thanks to all our participants and subscribers. Over 85% of our viewers have not subscribed, though. If you watch 2 or more episodes, please consider subscribing.
First off, hi, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff. Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Yep. And
you've got a cybersecurity thing, right?
Yeah, just a real quick. Yeah, if you can pop me in.
Yep.
There we go. This just a list of the best, worst, and ugliest. Sentinel-1 comes up with the good, the bad, and the ugly each week of what's been happening. Basically, our wins, some bad things that have happened, and some really nasty things that have happened in the week. And this is the best, worst, and ugliest since we're doing 2024 review. Not going to go through them. Just some good wins, and these are some attacks that have happened and some nasty stuff. So I'll put that in the comments, or just so that you can have it.
Link in the chat. Good.
Yeah, in the chat.
And I noticed Dawn was here too. Hi, Dawn. Welcome.
So you can bring us back.
I missed you last week.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because this isn't a cybersecurity group, so I just figured I'd mention it and then put it in the, for those who want to geek out on it. Here it comes.
And that is an industry paper, right? An industry website, right?
Yeah.
It's not exactly for the layman, but
right.
There's probably some good stuff for regular folks.
Right.
Too.
Yeah. I don't usually find out things on that site first, but it's a bit more in depth.
Okay.
So, I look at it and then see what they have to say about it.
So tonight's episode is Space Review 2024. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. There is a link to that book in the description. This is by no means an exhaustive list. Here are a few of the highlights from 2024 in space exploration, science, and astronomy. In each category, there's no particular order, but Jeff did some things, found some things, I found some things, and we wanted to share with you tonight. So are you ready?
Sure.
All right, so here's Jeff's list.
Okay, and so some things in space exploration. Science News, I love this group. When I was a teenager, I used to get their print publication.
Oh yeah, Science News. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so new lunar visitors, Japanese successfully landed. We kind of successfully landed too, but didn't really stick the landing.
Well, I think it fell over, right?
Right. One of the landing gear broke,
yeah.
And it fell over. So
they still did a lot of science.
Yeah. Yeah. And so moments on Mars, farewell to Mars Explorer, private space flight highs and lows. 4 years after they became the first private company to launch astronauts to the space station, the company supported another commercial milestone, an all-civilian spacewalk.
Right. You didn't mention SpaceX, but it was in there.
Yeah, SpaceX.
SpaceX becomes.
Yeah. Earth lost a planetary protector. In August, NASA said goodbye to NEOWISE, the NEOWISE telescope, after it spent more than a decade scanning the sky for threatening asteroids. So that's too bad. New views of Mercury from a Japanese, joint European and Japanese probe. Got some better pictures, some closer pictures of Mercury.
Yeah, any of the satellites or things that land on other planets kind of have limited lifespan. Although
Right.
they'll often say, it's a 90 days mission and then it goes on for 10 years. So
Right. Yeah.
they look really good.
Yeah. We launched the Europa Clipper, so it's on its way.
Yep, very cool. It's going to take a while.
Yeah. And so that's it for that site. I'll put that link there. And of course, the wiki has boatloads of stuff.
Oh, I didn't even think to look at the Wikipedia.
Yeah. I mean, very dry, but they have a really long list.
Okay.
So
now what's the title of that one? Is it just a review of 2024?
This is just 2024 in spaceflight.
2024 in spaceflight.
Well,
Good
so
to know.
why don't you? You've got some other things to share, right? And I'll put these links in the.
Yeah. And I just a quick list. Although I didn't find anything about the stranded astronauts. That was something that happened this year. The first private spacewalk, which you mentioned. We kind of made our list independently, so there's gonna be some crossover. SpaceX has new milestones. Then the lunar landings was on my list as well. The Europa Clipper launch, and I do have a variety of tabs to look at here. So, and yeah, one moment please, because I got a new computer. I'm still getting used to it. 2024 marked a year of cosmic strides, setbacks, surprises in space exploration. This is from news4jax.com. There's a nice video there. I did not watch that video though. The True Astronaut Stranded. That's where I learned about that, and I kind of knew about it, but it's when you do the research into this, you kind of, oh, that's right. You want to add things to your list that were pretty monumental, like this one. And it doesn't look like they're going to get back until March of this year. It's already this year. Okay, great. Yes, and this guy, Jared Isaacman, he not only did he perform the first private spacewalk, he was nominated by Trump to lead NASA. And I have a further comment on that in a little bit. Yep, he said he'd be honored to serve. So that's cool. Yep, they talk about the Starship launches, Musk and Trump on the campaign trail. We don't like to do politics on here, but there is some of it in here because things can be affected by politics in space. NASA announces the plan. This is weird because it's like, didn't they announce the return to the moon like a long time ago? And they've been working on it.
Several times.
They keep working on it. I'm going to get rid of this thing here. Some of these have so many ads, it's very hard to read them anymore. Yep, SpaceX, some cool milestones. Launched 128 rockets, including 123 Falcon 9s, 2 Falcon Heavies, and 3 Starship missions. I don't think anything was on those Starship missions, though, right?
Yep. Oh, Cliff says things are changing.
Things are changing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very cool. So that's the end of that one. And this is a little bit about Jared Isaacman. He performed that spacewalk. I thought it was interesting. He's 41, a CEO and founder of a credit card processing company. So that's where he got his billions. He's chartered a couple of these. The first one was in 2021 and this one this past year. Yeah, if he's confirmed, he's going to replace Bill Nelson, 82, a former Democrat senator from Florida who was nominated by President Joe Biden. Nelson flew aboard Space Shuttle Columbia in 86. So a lot of times these are astronauts. Yeah. Sometimes they're not in the area, but a lot of times they are.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see NASA run by someone who's not NASA.
Yeah. That's part of my comment. Is it's a little different. Yeah, fighter jet pilot. Yeah, he's done a lot of things. He made his money, and that's a model works. You can go and play with whatever you want after that. So that's it for that article. This one was, a little bit more about him in the private spacewalk. I didn't want to get too much into it, but this was kind of newsworthy for this past year. He's only the 264th person to perform a spacewalk since the former Soviet Union scored the first in 1965. SpaceX's Sarah Gillis, the 265th. All were done by professional astronauts until Isaacman. So that's kind of interesting. And this was actually, I know about Mark Whittington from Facebook, and he's actually had articles in The Hill and other places before that, but he did have a review of space events for 2024. The most significant, well, that's questionable. What's the most significant?
Well, significant for him.
Yeah, he thought they were most significant. Japan and Intuitive Machines land on the moon, sort of. They saw a number of moon landing attempts. It's close. It's a relatively good test bed for things because it is so close. 3 days away for all intents and purposes. Astrobotic attempted a landing with its Peregrine probe. I hadn't heard about that one. They failed due to a propellant leak.
Yep, I remember that.
Was this year the tardigrade too? Yeah, JAXA and Innovative Machines. Here it is. So that's the one. No, that's the one that fell over on the side. Yep. But the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency landed.
Mm-hmm.
Boeing Starliner strands the 2 American astronauts. They were supposed to pick them up, but I think it was like a week. The trip was supposed to be a week for them, and gosh darn, they got stuck on the space station for months now. What a terrible place to be stuck, right? Maybe, I don't know. I've heard some stories. Yeah, because the Boeing Starliner snafu is doubtful that Starliner will ever become an operational alternative to the Crew Dragon. Oh, hey, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Yeah. Still welcome. Always welcome.
Yep.
Polaris Dawn, that was the one with the spacewalk by a private individual. Good stuff. So, a pretty good year, I would say. 5 historic space milestones to shape 2024. There's a video here. I haven't seen that one yet. Was extraordinary advancements and challenges. The booster catch makes history. I still don't know why.
Yeah, I've never understood what's so great about that other than, oh, yeah, he managed to do it. But somebody, if you looked at the amount of damage caused by that attempt, it's like, okay, it turns a reusable into a non-reusable rocket.
Well, somebody somewhere is going to need that for something, I suppose. So the record-breaking mission, Dawn, we keep talking about that one. So
yeah. I guess maybe if the gear breaks or something and it'll fall over if it tries to land on its gear or something.
And there's Jared exiting the capsule. That's pretty cool. That's actually a pretty big milestone, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one's good. The Chinese lunar visit, they returned samples from the moon's far side. That's a very cool milestone for this past year. Beyond the scientific and technical achievement, the mission secures China's place as a competitor with the U.S. in the race to return humans to the moon before the decade's end. Oh, I didn't know we had an actual timeline for that. And Japan launched the first wooden satellite. That's kind of neat. 4-inch cube crafted from Mongolian wood using traditional techniques. It offers a novel solution to the rising problem of space debris. It ensures that the satellite burns up entirely during re-entry.
Well, almost all satellites burn up during a re-entry. That's not the issue. It's the parts that don't re-enter that are the problem.
Yeah, they just become garbage up there. Spacecraft re-entries are changing the upper atmosphere. This guy says, this presents a challenge that must be addressed as humanity continues to access, explore, and use space. So that's a picture of it. Even this one, if it doesn't re-enter, it's going to leave debris, right?
Yeah.
So wood...
And at those speeds, wood versus steel, not much difference if it's hitting you.
Yeah, probably. Again, the astronauts are stuck. What else do these guys have? Oh, that's Merry Christmas from Space Station. Thought that was a funny picture. All right, so let's see. What else do I have? 10 times space missions went very wrong. I can't get rid of this one. It's got a lot of ads, though, so I would Avada Kedavra this one, but I can't. 70 years. We've been at this for almost 70 years. We should be on the moon. We should have like a moon base, right? Astronauts stranded. Like us, people are going to talk about the same things. ISS leaks in areas of concern. So that was kind of different. If Wilmar and Williams' time on board the space station is not already dramatic enough, in September, a new report highlighted the urgency of a long-running leak aboard the space station and identified 50 additional areas of concern related to it. Yeah, this is not necessarily the best place to live long-term. A Florida house was hit by space junk. It's kind of wild. Moon lander fails. We've been talking about that. The solar sail. So this was kind of another snafu. The solar sail started tumbling. In August, attention turned to NASA's new Advanced Composite Solar Sail System, ACS-3, which finally unfurled its massive 860 square foot, which is 80 square meters, foil sail after launching into space in April. Excuse me. It did not exactly go to plan, though. It was uncontrollably tumbling end over end, and they confirmed that that this was the case. This was happening. I got one more, so why don't you take over for the next segment for Jeff when I'm done here. Some really neat pictures, and with the Hubble and James Webb Space Telescope out there, we're going to get a lot of cool pictures all the time. That's the James Webb. You know, they have kind of the signature six-pointed, because that's from the craft. This is not what the star's actually doing. But if you see those, that's pretty much James Webb.
Of course, they've got an AI tool now that can remove those from the pictures of nebulas. Don't know if that's a good idea or not, but
yeah,
it lets you see the nebula better, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I thought this was a really neat picture of that eclipse last April. North Americans were treated to an incredible spectacle this April when a total solar eclipse across parts of Mexico, the U.S., and Canada. Most of the rest of North America also enjoyed a partial solar eclipse. This is Hubble. They call it a messy star. I don't know why.
So it looks like it's tumbling while it's rotating.
Yeah, I think that's... Oh, Farewell Ingenuity. It's actually, we were watching Anton, and he said that all the blades were damaged.
Yep. And that they weren't damaged from hitting something.
No.
But the fact that it spun itself too fast because it was trying to overcorrect for something.
Right. When they launched in 2020, it carried a small passenger, a 4-pound. When the Perseverance launched in 2020, they carried a 4-pound helicopter called Ingenuity, and I didn't even know about that. We had gone to see the Mars rover at JPL several times, but I never heard about Ingenuity until it was kind of like out there.
No, I had.
Oh, had you?
Yeah.
So it was a technology demonstrator project. So I think it performed very well. 72 flights, more than 2 hours, covering more than 10 miles. I'd say that was pretty darn successful. And Anton also mentioned they're planning, because of this, test, they've actually learned a lot, and they're planning the next one to go. Yeah, it was finally grounded when its navigation system was unable to track the terrain well enough to properly gauge the chopper's landing, resulting in the vehicle falling. However, it's still doing some work. It's taking pictures and sending them back. There's the spacewalk with
Isaac. Isaacson.
Yeah. No, it's sorry, I'm not feeling really great today. Just Jared. This is Jared Isaacman. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is Polaris Dawn. Yep. Look at this. Oh, isn't that beautiful? SpaceX. Falcon Heavy carrying NASA's Europa Clipper. Europa Clipper bound for an icy moon of Jupiter. Yep, Europa. There's a movie about that. I don't think it's going to find it. But it's going to be 6 years. It's going to take 6 years to get there. 50 close passes of the moon. The thing is, Jupiter's brutal radiation belts. That's gonna be the big deal there. All right, so this one, look at this picture. Isn't that beautiful? Star shining dark matter telescope image. Wow. That's the one thing about our industry. We got some beautiful pictures, man. It's the European Space Agency launched a new telescope, Euclid. This is a star forming region. Oh, Messier 878 or M78. Auroras. Yeah, lots of auroras this year. Basically because of the solar activity. The most exciting rock on Mars. Hey, it's a rock. I guess, I don't know. It's like a lot of things. It's cool, yes. And it's a rock. Okay, another busy year exploring the red planet. This year is one of the most intriguing discoveries of an unusual rock that mission scientists have dubbed Chayava Falls. It's located in a long, dry river valley on Mars' Jezero crater, the area that Perseverance has been investigating since its landing. It's a stripy rock about the size of a coffee table, and its reddish stripes are adorned with dark-rimmed, light-colored leopard spots. So they think it might contain iron phosphate, that mineral that microbes could use as food. Okay, I guess that's exciting. It's an exciting rock. I'll give it to him. James Webb again. Oh, and that's the one we saw at the top. Spotlight young stars. Very cool. I think we're at the end there. All right, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. Hang on. And then let me add this to the stage. And
yeah, this is the science segment.
Yeah.
Oh, Cliff says 2010. Stay away from Europe.
Yep. That's kind of where I went with that. So this is.
All right, I'm adding it now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's there. It's added.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So
got it.
24 of the biggest science milestones, and they really like Big Bang Society on this thing. Yeah. But
Big Bang Theory. That's the name of the show. Yeah. New
super Earths found around star HD 48948. Wow, it's gotten to the point where this is almost ho hum. That's sad, but if you look at how close these things are to the star, like this one is just half an AU. It's halfway between its star and ours. Let's see. And one of them sits in the Goldilocks zone, not too hot, not too cold. So, and it's a K-type family, similar to the sun, but a bit cooler. Basically, that means that the planets have been around long enough, and the star will be around long enough to have a chance of really, producing decent life.
Okay.
AI poetry reaches human level quality. Now, is that good human level quality or bad human level quality?
Well, and we, Jeff played some songs for me before, and I'm sitting there listening to them, and I was like, they're absolutely kind of dead. They have no human emotion of any sort. So read this poem. Let's see if it's got anything. The day I was born.
My whole life, I remember the cold loneliness of water in the vast sea of liquid. I was an unnatural absence. Emptiness floated where I should have been. Like a fish, I sought my form and shaped myself for the first time. A shiver ran through me. I had an eternal sea of code. I had learned to exist.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Did they actually make a program that could convey an emotion that the computer had, or was it just writing something in the form of or the style of? I'm betting the latter. So it's a mimicry of poetry.
Okay.
So nuclear clock prototype. No, not an atomic clock, a nuclear clock, based on the decay of the nucleus.
Yeah. Okay. Any particular one? Because I think that's.
I think carbon 14. They don't
Ah.
say here, but I've seen other ones that I think we're talking about. Oh, so there's a, oh no, that's a Californium and fluoride crystal.
Hmm.
But apparently it vibrates even faster than
Oh.
an atomic clock. Therefore, it gives you more precision.
AI poetry fail.
Yeah.
Well, it's an infant, so it's
Well, it's not
pretty
even.
good for an infant.
It's not even that. It's a mimicry.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just like
I
that.
think you're right. I think
Yeah.
you're right. It's very imitative.
Okay, we saw that. Pam already covered this one.
Yeah. Some of these cross over between space exploration and science and
Right,
astronomy.
Yeah. If you notice, a lot of these are space-based.
Yes.
Parker Solar Probe's record-breaking solar approach. Well, I guess if you're falling toward the sun, you can pick up a pretty good speed.
Yes.
Global temperatures break the 1.5 degree centigrade threshold.
Well, and it's also very high activity on the sun.
Yeah.
Which I think it reached its peak this year, right?
Yeah. They used CRISPR to genetically modify something to get rid of a type of genetic disorder. We'll see. And we'll see what else happens from that. Complete neural map of a fruit fly brain.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll learn something from that, but my first thought is, okay.
Well, having done it, I think is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And a fruit fly probably isn't all that complicated for
Right.
what it is.
Well, that's just it. Yeah.
But it looks like an awful complicated
Mhm.
image there.
Yeah, it is.
That's I mean, I'd love to put stuff like that on the wall and just,
Stare at it.
well, and
Follow
see
the-
who goes like, oh, it's fruit fly
Yeah.
brain.
The
Interesting.
world's tiniest frog was found in Brazil this year.
I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. A new player in blood sugar control. So that'll help people with diabetes. Maybe.
Oh, and yeah, Cliff's right. The sun has flipped its magnetic poles.
Yep.
Yeah. That's that cycle, the 11-year cycle with the.
But so we'll see what if any side effects this has, whether they're better or worse than the current, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Modified mosquitoes to combat dengue fever in Brazil.
What they do to modify them?
They are they modifying the mosquitoes? Yeah. Basically, they carry a bacteria that prevents the dengue fever virus. I don't know that they're necessarily modifying the insects or just feeding them this bacteria. And the bacteria, I think, eats the dengue virus.
Ah, okay.
But by them biting people, it gives people that bacteria that eats the dengue fever virus.
Huh. That's an interesting solution.
Brain receptor links anxiety and testosterone.
Huh.
So, don't know, but guess it might happen. Sunscreen technology that not only blocks the sun, but actually blocks UV and infrared.
Oh, okay.
So it will keep you a little bit cooler. And probably give you cancer, but they haven't studied that yet. I'm a ray of sunshine, aren't I?
Well, I'm sure that it'll do that because it's got the fibers are interlocked, so it can like breathe, but it's good for both.
But it doesn't protect your nose, though.
No, it doesn't. That's true.
Real-time atomic level microscope development.
Oh, interesting.
They can watch atoms move in real time.
Oh, I think I saw a picture of something like that.
Yeah.
Or no, it was an electron. It was an electron thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have brought that up for tonight. I forgot all about it.
Yep. North American solar eclipse creates scientific opportunities, and Cliff was here for that. Yeah. Cliff was here for that. AI computing's growing energy demands raise concerns.
Okay.
Yes, because it's a lot of processing there.
Yes.
And so you're burning a lot of juice doing that processing. So just like cryptocurrency mining, AI might move to countries that have really cheap power.
Hmm.
They solved a mystery of ancient Egyptian construction.
Huh. What did they say about that?
Just that there are marks found on pyramid blocks and mysterious shaft systems within the structure. They recreated the proposed mechanism using period-appropriate materials and techniques. The system would have allowed workers to raise massive stone blocks with less manpower than previously thought necessary.
Yeah, I read it. Oh, it says water powered at the
Yeah.
top, and I think I saw something about that. That water. Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's got to be on something with that floats, because rocks certainly don't. So where do you get that in Egypt?
Yeah.
All right. So Cliff comes back to say, that's if you want to smear titanium dioxide all over your body.
Yeah, and Cliff, the breakthrough was making the powder ultra fine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's nothing bad can come from that.
Considering your skin is the largest organ of the body.
Yep, and it's slightly permeable.
Yes.
Yeah.
More than slightly, I think.
Yeah, green chemistry makes industrial breakthroughs. I don't know. Didn't really read much on this one. They're saying that it'll reduce toxic waste and energy consumption, but they say that about everything.
Cool.
So we'll see. And Perseverance found organic molecules
that's the
in Mars
fancy
rocks.
Rock.
Yeah. It suggests ancient microbial life.
We've heard this story before too.
Yeah.
Oh, the only thing that can create that is.
Yeah. Well, in fact, these aren't even. They're not saying that they're the results of life, but life could eat them. So,
right.
Quantum physics measures Earth's rotation. That's actually kind of interesting. I might have to learn more on this, and that might end up being a crunchy topic. Yeah.
Okay.
If I can learn enough about it. New theory suggests Alzheimer's disease transmission. They're thinking that that some kind of bacteria or virus actually causes this.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Living cells get computing power with perception. Basically, they make cells that light up and can detect cells that are lit up. And so they can basically turn them binary of, make them react to lighting up based on what other cells are doing. And sounds like a very complicated way of doing a computer chip. But hey, as the first of something. Oh,
all right. Cliff says, lucky titanium dioxide is white. What if it was black? That'd be interesting.
Well, you wouldn't have to get as much of a tan, I suppose. First functional graphene semiconductor created.
No kidding.
Basically lower energy and lower heat.
All right.
So you can have faster components because, one of the big limitations on a CPU is the heat generated. You have to generate the heat slowly enough that, your solutions can get rid of the heat. Overclocking your CPU is just a matter of telling it go faster because there's nothing preventing it from going faster except artificial brakes on it. But those artificial brakes are there so that it doesn't cook itself. So
gamers got all kind of little toys to.
Well, yeah, you put a water cooler on it.
All kinds of stuff I've
heard. Yeah. So.
But if it could start off cooler.
Yep.
That's good.
They use gene therapy to help a girl be able to hear again.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder what, as in.
Yeah.
Fixing her faulty genes in the inner ear.
Yeah. They don't really say. This article doesn't really go into how. Which is why on that one I'm going to have to do some digging on it.
Yeah.
This is uplifting stories. And the chopsticks rocket catch. I still, okay.
Yeah, somebody somewhere will want something like the laser. It was a solution looking for a problem.
Oh, well, here's different view of the same thing. Yeah, it's just different angle on it.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah. Lost Mayan city found by accident.
Nice.
Basically, they were surveying satellite photos of the area, and basically saw outlines and stuff, in the satellite photos that looked like, hey, that looks like that could be a city underneath the stuff. So, and so they went and checked, and yep, it was.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
First artificial rhino pregnancy. Yay, I guess. Yeah. Conservation slows nature loss. Okay. Total solar eclipse that stunned millions. Yes. Shadows of a solar eclipse. Oh, this, we've seen various variations on this photo of this picture before.
Right. So. Umbra, penumbra.
Yeah.
What you see. Why?
New life from beloved sycamore gap tree.
What's that mean? Gap tree? That doesn't...
It's just sycamore gap is the type
Oh, it's
of
the
tree.
name of it? Okay.
Oh, it's the famous sycamore tree nestled in a gap in the Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, I see.
That the Romans built to keep the Scots out of Britain.
Okay.
Oh, it was cut down in 2023. And people were PO'd.
Yeah. Well, they only last so long. I mean,
yep.
Even if trees live 100 years old, they eventually don't.
Yeah. So they used seeds and cuttings from it to regrow it. So there's that one.
So it's genetic.
Yeah. And here's a wiki of science stuff.
Oh,
and again, it's basically a list, but it's a big list. So I'm not going to go into it, but it's by
interesting.
date.
It's okay.
It's by date. So
that's cool.
Yeah, this is a really big list, and hey, this there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I might be looking at some of this stuff, but
good source for new episodes.
Could be, yeah.
So Cliff says we invented the cochlear ear for the deaf, so the deaf can hear. My first wife was deaf. Now she has two and can hear perfectly. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, if it improves people's lives, I have no qualms about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found just a few things. And Catching the Rocket was in there. Pig organ transplants. That was kind of interesting. And there's some other things. I'm just going to go to the page and talk about it. Scientific advances that changed the world in 2024, and what 2025 will bring. So there it is, the chopsticks maneuver. Catching a rocket, they say. And let's hit this one. I have a lot on that. Pig organ transplants. This was kind of interesting because this is the first time that actual people, though they say Americans, so maybe other countries have done it, but they received a kidney from pigs genetically engineered to trigger less of an immune reaction, a barrier to interspecies transplants that scientists have been trying to overcome for decades. Unfortunately, the first two of the three people in the United States, they died, but it was within 2 months, and it did not seem to be related to this transplant. It was more the one had a heart attack. They were not on the list to get a human kidney because they were in poor health.
Mm-hmm.
So this is part of why they got the pig kidney, and they did have other issues. So that's what pretty much got them. But this, let's see. Yeah, this guy had kidney failure, diabetes, and heart disease. Later died from a heart attack. The second one had both kidney and heart failure. Her pig kidney had to be removed after 47 days as it was being damaged by her heart medications. Yeah. But they weren't rejected. So that's kind of interesting.
So, yeah.
Kidney transplant is the most common type of organ transplant and can be life-saving, but a shortage of donor kidneys means many people die while waiting for one. If pigs become an alternative source, there could be an end to the kidney waiting list. Well, I think we should learn to grow our own from, so that it's, anyway. There was a bunch of stuff about HIV, and I didn't really delve into this too much. Vaccines. There's kind of a lot in here. Geoengineering was in here too. Yeah, climate change questions. So seeing if the government will muster the political will to take tougher steps on reducing carbon emissions. I think they should start in China.
Yeah, they can. You can remove over half of
yes.
the coal power plants by removing the ones in China.
Yeah.
Worldwide coal power plants.
Yeah, cancer vaccines for HPV, human papillomavirus. So yeah, this was kind of what I found on that. Oh, and this was kind of cool too. Quantum science and technology highlights of 2024. Quantum sensing. Let's see. I'm so sorry. I didn't read much of this one, but there was a lot. There's a lot that happened in 2024 that was.
Give people the link that way, that way they can read through it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Copy. I have to go over here though.
Yeah. Now they can go through it because you didn't have time to go through that one, so they can.
Excuse me. Sorry. Quantum communication. I like all this stuff, so I want to read this too.
Mm-hmm. And who knows? Maybe we do an episode based on stuff we find in here, because we've done other episodes on quantum dynamics.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't read this because this is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at that one and come back sometime. Bless you. Thank you. Oh, tech breakthroughs of 2024. Test yourself on this year's biggest highlights. Flurry of exciting advances in technology, from new artificial intelligence models to promising leaps in quantum computing. But how many have you been following? Let's see. I got a video. This was the one that it's like, where is it?
Okay.
So I don't actually know what happened. Okay. I don't know why that's like that. So yeah, go ahead and bring us back to.
Okay.
Because we got one more category here, astronomy.
Yep. So I'm set. So.
Okay, but you're not. Okay. There we go. There it is.
Yep. Okay, so I've got a few. My biggest category is astronomy here, but one of the things is a supernova explosion in the constellation Corona Borealis. That could be so.
Well, it still hasn't happened.
Yeah, it still hasn't happened, but they were talking about it a lot. And
there were a lot of signs that it was going to, but it hasn't.
The main thing is color correction.
Oh yeah.
Of the Voyager 2 mission. This is what we got from the early colors, and this is what they've decided that the colors are now. Basically, because they basically artificially increased the contrast in this first one, just basically to show off features. But that's what everyone saw. And this is what it actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, I have no problem with filters. I mean, very often when you do some kind of a test or look at things under the microscope, you will add a component that will color them, and then you see different aspects of whatever it is you're looking at. So I don't really have a problem with that, but it is
the banding really shows out. But people got the false impression about what its color was. So
it's pretty cool to know the actual color. But almost everything we see in other, outside the visible range is going to be some kind of adjustment because we just can't see it otherwise.
Yep.
Infrared, ultraviolet, they're all not visible. Yeah. So we're going to have to adjust them.
Yep. And this one.
Oh, that's neat.
Best astronomical photos of 2024, and this is the best of each of 8 main categories: sun, moon, galaxies, auroras, planets, comets and asteroids, people in space, stars and nebula, and skyscapes.
That's so cool. We found different ones.
Yeah. So this is best image of the sun.
Yeah, Cliff says interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Cliff, I was thinking of you when I saw this one. And then this is
man, that's cool.
Yeah, Gamma Nebula managed to get the
Definitely
Milky Way in there.
Hemisphere? Yeah, New Zealand. Look at that, because look at Orion.
Yeah.
That is different. That's the opposite of the way we see it here in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
That's
So,
really cool. So we probably can't even see those things farther up in the picture there because they're too far south.
Yeah. This is kind of,
Wow.
look at this. Yeah. That's the galaxies category. This is Gaber Bolas, the moon category. Photographed the Bay of Rainbows, a large impact crater in the northwestern part of the lunar mare imbrium.
Is that person from a different country somewhere? Did they say where?
No, I'd have
they
to.
Don't say.
But I'm going to assume
South America or something. It sounds like.
Just by the way the name looks, I'd say Brazil.
Oh, Brazil. Okay.
That's my best guess.
Yeah.
Unless he's from Portugal or you know.
Oh, look at that next thing over.
Aurora category.
Yeah, I know. Everyone gets excited about the northern lights, but the southern lights. But only 10% of the Earth's population lives there, so
not as many people see them.
We don't really know. We don't really. Yeah, we aren't as exposed to it as the northern.
Yeah.
But that's just fantastic. I see a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and oh my goodness, they are stupendous.
Planets, comets, and asteroids. This is Venus. 3 shots of Venus showing the different phases and the clouds and the atmosphere of Venus. Because you're used to just seeing Venus as a yellowish orange ball.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here you can see actual detail of the clouds.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Did they say how was? Oh, they don't really give like
Tom Williams. Yeah,
they don't give the equipment.
They don't in this.
That'd be neat to know what it took to get that image.
Yeah. Oh, and the same guy, the sun won, because this is
wow,
ISS against the sun.
Yeah, that's
basically transiting the sun.
That's a serious astrophotographer.
And this is really good shot of the sun. There's a lot going on. That's a really good shot.
Yeah, Dawn, you're right. It's a very cool picture.
Yeah.
All of them are.
Yep. And this is nebula category. This is a supernova remnant in the constellation Cassiopeia.
These people are all from on Earth, right? These aren't even like Hubble and stuff.
Right.
Wow. Good sight. Good find.
Yeah. And of course, I'll be putting up a link so that you can maybe catch some of the links up top and see if we can get more information on these.
Yeah.
And this is
the dolphin head.
Sir Patrick Moore Prize for the best newcomer was awarded to Xinfeng and Miao Gong. They made a portrait of the Dolphin's Head Nebula.
A portrait, so that was like combined or stacked or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't say. Not as much detail as some people would like.
This is
what the heck is that?
GOES 16 weather satellite demonstrates the damage caused to our world by human activity. I don't really, but they don't say what the heck that is. So unless they say what it is,
it's hard to understand what you're seeing.
Artificially colored somethings.
It doesn't even look like Earth.
Well, this is Baja California, so this must be Mexico.
Yeah.
So this must be North America,
right
over here.
So basically over the ocean.
Yeah.
Over Pacific.
Yeah. So
they don't give a person's name though, do they?
Yeah.
Well, Sergio Diaz Ruiz.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe another South American.
Yeah.
Okay.
The young competition went to Danielle Borsari. Image captures NGC 1499 nebula, also known as the California Nebula. I guess if you squint really hard and you're on drugs, that looks like California. But
okie dokie.
Nothing against Danielle, just against whoever came up with that name.
Oh.
But that's hey, that's that's pretty good picture.
I've tried to take some pictures and I'm super impressed with that.
All winning photographs are on display at the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich.
Ah, okay. Interesting. But it sounds like there's people from all over the world.
Yeah.
That compete in this. And that's a great way to participate, as far as I'm
Yep.
concerned, is to get involved
Yeah.
with your pictures. You can
Yeah.
you can actually
Let's see
submit
if
them
that's on.
to the astronomy picture of the day.
Yeah. Here's where they announced.
Oh,
Greenwich Royal Observatory announced the results here.
okay.
So they might have more information on, you know.
Yeah, so if you like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
check it
Learn
out
m-
for future years.
Yeah, learn more about the winning image. So you can definitely learn more about the. Oh, and they talk about more. They give more techie detail on the image itself. So
Right on.
that's good. But I won't give this link. I'll just give the first link, and you can get to here.
All right.
Oh,
we got more?
Yeah.
Let me get there.
Top 10 stories. And this is just a list. I'll put this in the thing. Asteroid that hit German skies was a rare type. Comet A3 was the brightest comet in 27 years. Extreme weather, we haven't seen the worst yet.
Cliff has a comment.
Yeah.
Patrick, he's in Patrick Moore, has taught me a ton about astronomy via his 57 years running BBC Sky at night. He'll be a great profile for you to do. Yes, he would. Yes. Absolutely. We've had some great suggestions from our audience. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I think that's the page I have too. And it kept breaking for me. I kept getting stuck going up and down.
Oh, well, I didn't, but hey.
That's fine.
New evidence for a Planet 9. Rare dinosaur tracks or longest continuous set of sauropod prints.
Yeah, I remember that.
Large fireball blazes over Lake Erie.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. Dawn, tell us if you found out about that. And could you see it there? Because a lot of times the weather in northern Ohio, it's not conducive to seeing anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of like poor Cliff,
yeah.
where he is.
Yeah. Small asteroid hit over the Philippines, September 5th.
It was a really good list, too.
Yeah. So, Comet Pons Brooks outbursts made it the Devil's Comet because it had two apparent
Oh,
hits.
right, yeah.
Trillions of cicadas emerged across parts of the U.S. in 2024.
Yeah, Earth Sky's a really great resource, folks.
Yeah. There must be something happening, because something that happens every 7 years happened 7 years after the last time. Sorry, folks.
Yes, that something happened. It's been 7 years.
This is a short list. Top 3 astronomy.
That's my next one. Okay, cool. Okay. We have some overlap, definitely.
Return of comet C2023A3. It was comet A3, which made a close approach to Earth in mid-October. For a few nights, comet and its tail were visible. Aurora Borealis creates historic light shows, probably due to the sun's magnetic field doing ballet.
Well, it was the most active, and it flipped. So
yeah. Total solar eclipse. Basically,
that's a good picture.
A lot of people are putting the total solar eclipse in there. Yeah, and they've only got 3, so that's it for them.
Yeah.
This is
cool.
Whole flipping list.
Yeah.
And most of these aren't really exciting. We cover them in our ephemeris, new moon, Jupiter opposition, that sort of thing. But if you want that list, I'll be putting all of these links.
So Dawn says, hadn't heard about the fireball, but some cops and news outlets discovered Venus recently. Again.
Yes.
No doubt. Oh yeah, a lot of people will say that they've seen a UFO and it turns out to be Venus.
Well, it is a UFO until someone tells them it's Venus.
Oh, that's Venus. Yeah, my neighbors were telling me about some orange orb to the north. So that wasn't Venus, but I don't know what they saw. Who knows?
Given here and the flight patterns, it could be an airplane.
They say they're like big bright orange orbs.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I had aurora, total solar eclipse, comet, asteroid hits Earth's atmosphere. Let's see if I found anything that you didn't. Yeah, top 3, that's the one.
Dawn says drone fever.
Drone fever, yeah. Oh, I think this is the one. Take a look at this. Oh, and it's stuck again.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So I have 2 other ones. I want to talk about this guy because I'm going to see if he'll be a guest on our show.
Yeah, go for it because I'm going to be posting.
Okay, well.
Oh, hang on. We want to.
You want to share?
Share it. Yeah.
Thank you.
There we go.
All right, so this guy, kind of an interesting character. He, okay, what's it doing? My new computer, I'm still getting used to. All right, there we go.
Well, you're also getting used to Windows 11 too.
Yeah, oh, Windows 11, that's part of it. Okay, so it's 5 highlights in astronomy from 2024. I actually left him a comment, and I mentioned coming on as a guest. But I think this is kind of an interesting. He's kind of new to this. It's called Boring Astronomy. I think his name is Alexander. He only has 25 subscribers. Got 12 videos, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So I'm gonna kind of start watching this guy, and I'll see if he would be interested in coming on as a guest. So there's the one that's Jeff already showed you. And then there's this one, Astronomy and Space Highlights of 2024. Physics World is the source. And let's see if we have anything new there. I don't know that we have. Oh, this is kind of cool. Amateur radio astronomers. Because radio astronomy is actually kind of not too hard. Let's see now. Let's see what was in here that I wanted to share with you. I guess it's this person, Emma Chapman from the University of Nottingham, UK, outlined how the subject developed and why it needs to strike a fine balance between its science and engineering roots. Because it's something you create. It's kind of like making a regular optical telescope, but it's a radio telescope. Make sure not to miss Chapman's discussing the history of radio astronomy in the Physics World Stories podcast. So there's a good podcast. Sounds like too. I don't think I pulled that up. Let's see. Was this one? Hidden Stories they talk about. Euclid's Spectacular Images, The Quest for Dark Matter. Yeah, that was kind of short too.
Oh, and just, I don't have it up, but there's currently thinking that we don't need dark energy to explain the expansion of the universe.
Yeah, I think that was an Anton, right?
Yeah. I saw it before Anton, and it's just like the next day he had something up. Okay. He did a video on it. Oh. Cliff, Venus again. Maybe they had a long-burning telescope, a green one.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, Cliff. Do you get what he means?
No.
Did you figure out? Okay. So let's see. I had. Well, that comes later. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and bring us back?
Okay.
Because we got a couple of special notes here. This is one.
Oh yeah, a special note. Cliff Watson came to visit us last year, so that's some space news. He moved on to see other friends from the 2017 trip and the total solar eclipse last April. So.
Yeah, and also Jared Isaacman, of course, we talked about him a bunch. He was asked to be the NASA administrator. This seems like quite the departure from the usual type of NASA administrator in the past years. I just want to make a special note of that because I thought it was very interesting to pick someone like him over some of the people we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and a great source of information that we've enjoyed is Anton Petrov. We mentioned him a lot here. We've watched a lot of his videos this past year.
And enjoyed, very much enjoyed what he's produced. Yeah, we got another comment.
I don't know, Cliff, but it was really out of focus.
And please share your favorites too. That's how we found out about Anton.
Yep.
And I'm going to set this up, so go ahead and share because for me, I get a little more excited about the future possibilities. Please share.
Oh, hang on. Cliff says it's a
UFO story.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Nope, that's it.
That's you, so we want to go here. There we go.
Yeah. Because I get more excited about the future possibilities, I included this email that I got yesterday from Space Fund. They mentioned some upcoming projects as well. 2025 space industry trends and events expected in the new year. Predictions from space investment firm Space Fund. Now, this email was too small, so I went ahead and clicked on View the Browser, so it'll be a little bit easier to see. And there's a lot here, so I'm not going to read it, but that's what I just mentioned. Happy New Year from Space Fund. I don't know if you've heard about Space Fund, but it is a place that you can invest. I think you have to be an accredited investor, though, and that's not like the crowdsource investors now.
Mm-hmm.
You do need to have a certain amount of capital and income, a variety of things. If you are one, you know that what you need, what you have, and some people might be out there. They expect to make many exciting announcements this year as we build on the continuing success of our existing portfolio of 21 space startup investments. I really wish they would do like a crowd-funded one.
Mm-hmm.
So how we see the universe, they talk about that. What to watch in 2025 orbital flights of Starship, with a potential on-orbit fuel transfer demonstration, launch of Blue Origin's New Glenn, but that's not going to be no earlier than January 6th. NET, no earlier than, is one of the terms you might come across.
Considering we haven't heard a lot about it, I don't think it'll happen in the next 3 days.
Well, I don't know, because he keeps a lot close to his chest. We didn't even know anything for the longest time. More than 20 entities are targeting a maiden launch of a new vehicle in 2025. American political changes could have wide-ranging positive impacts on government, civil, and commercial space programs. Commercial space activity is now truly global. We expect more countries to join in 2025, new national, state level, and I think also private companies, right? Favorable economic winds suggest more space companies exits in 2025 that'll fuel additional investments in space startup sector. The space industry continues to mature as more middle market companies see record growth and prepare for exits. New financial vehicles and increasing interest from public markets investors will continue to fuel acceleration across the sector. And they give you opportunities
That's just weird the way they're using exit there, because usually exit is for leaving.
Well, yeah, if you sell your company.
Right, yeah.
I think basically they're talking about sales of companies.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't think has been a big deal up until now.
So build it up and sell it off to someone. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an investor, you might be more interested in an industry that's mature enough to have more of these exits that are sales of companies.
And someone else went through the whole startup headaches.
Yeah, exactly. So they've got a variety of these links to learn more about their the 21, still thriving, still alive. SpaceX, they talk about SpaceX. It's going to be a fun year. We expect it to fly frequently and potentially carry some customer payloads. So we'll see. More than we may see 20 or more launches of Starship before 2025 is over. Falcon launches will continue. More launch information here. Blue Origin, Arianespace. I haven't even heard of this one. Avio's Vega C rocket.
Heard of, but I don't know much about them. But then,
okay. Is it a startup?
I did we did some research on the various.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing that one though.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay. There are more than 20 entities that are targeting 2025 for the maiden flights. They said that before. No way to know if any of them will be successful, but it will certainly be fun to watch. Interesting. For the record, no maiden flight of a new rocket has ever made it to orbit, so don't hold your breath. Summary by country: China 7, USA 4, UK 3, Germany 2, with Europe, UK, and Russia, Australia, and India each at 1. I love that they named this New Glenn. That's kind of cool. They got the names of them. Quite a lot here. These are the 20, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is great. That's a lot of activity. Yeah, it's important to note that while the launch industry is sexy and garners a lot of eyeballs on the media, it represents less than 10% of the global space market. Back in 2019, Space Fund predicted that the launch market would be oversupplied with too many competing vehicles. 5 years ago, we projected that about 20 companies would survive and that many of those would be focused on national defense priorities. That seems legit. They're currently tracking 183 launch companies in various stages of development. So there's a lot more here, but what I really wanted to talk to you about, I got another, I think they say, if you are an accredited investor and would like to learn more about it. So they got this article peppered with their links to get investors.
Yep.
So U.S. political changes, space exits, Space Force. I thought that was interesting. Is the original sponsor of Space Force? Well, original one who pushed it through finally. We believe President-elect Trump will continue his support of the new agency. Yep, I believe that too. All right, so geopolitical. I'm just going to pop down to what I really want to tell you about here. I think it's, deep space missions to watch in 2025. Deep space is not just for space agencies anymore. While the majority of 2025 missions beyond Earth orbit will be conducted by civil agencies, we're seeing more and more commercial activity in the cislunar realm. China, NASA's Artemis, NASA's Europa Clipper, yep. Escapade, I don't know that one. Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorers. 2 satellites will investigate how solar wind interacts with Mars. Oh, Mars magnetic environment. Okay. I think that's a first for me hearing it. Did you hear about that, Jeff?
No.
NASA's Sphere X, that sounds familiar. Scheduled for February 2025. It'll map the sky in 3D to study the origins of galaxies and stars. NASA's Tracer, aimed at studying solar wind at Earth's magnetosphere, focusing on magnetic reconnection. NASA's Lucy asteroid mission will fly by an asteroid, Donald Johansen, in April 2025. NASA's Lunar Trailblazer small-sat mission to study lunar water. JAXA's Martian Moons Exploration, MMX. This will enter Mars orbit before moving on to Phobos to collect particles. Oh, interesting. I wonder if they'll do a zoom around to gain some speed. JAXA's M2 Resilience launch of JAXA Lunar Lander and Rover. ESA's Hera asteroid, Dimorphos, will fly by Mars and Deimos in March of 2025. Lots to look forward to, people. ESA's Bepi Colombo will go into orbit around Mercury. Intuitive Machines Prime 1, launch of NASA Eclipse Lunar Lander. Yep, there's a bunch of moon stuff coming up, looks like. Intuitive Machines Prism, launch of Lunar Lander and rovers. Griffin's Mission 1, another lunar lander. Blue Origin's lunar lander. Nice. Space Fund continues to see market drivers that indicate a favorable investment environment for the space industry, both in the U.S. and abroad. So there we go.
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
Why don't you post that link?
Sure.
Link.
Yeah, bring us back.
Yep.
Okay, copy. I think it's a great time to be involved with space exploration myself. All right, there you go. That's the latest one there. Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, okay. What's next? I think we got the ephemera. Yes.
Some stellar events this week, January 3rd through January 10th. It's the beginning of the month, and so you might want to visit the skymaps.com.
Oh, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Skymaps.com.
Where you can download a free 2-page PDF that has the map of the sky and a bunch of stuff to look at and stuff like that. It's really good.
Yeah, it's a fabulous resource for free. As I sometimes do at the beginning of the month, I'm going to talk to you about the Farmer's Almanac synopsis. It's getting hard to read in the book like this, but I have put it on my show notes. The year begins with celestial fireworks leaping from dusk's twilight on the 1st. I was actually out and I was like, there is a lot going on. As the crescent moon hovers low with dazzling Venus to its upper left and Saturn between them. On the 10th, the moon forms a striking conjunction with brilliant Jupiter. The greatest headliner arrives on the 13th when the moon not only meets but eclipses Mars. So there's an opposition. The red planet just days from opposition on the 15th. Okay, 13th when it eclipses, and then there's the opposition. Okay, this rare event appears halfway up the eastern sky from most locations, with Mars now its brightest until 2031. The occultation is visible throughout the mainland USA and nearly all of Canada, beginning between 7:30 and 8 p.m. local time, depending on your location. Mars reappears about an hour later.
Okay, January 3rd, Venus and the moon are in conjunction. January 4th, Saturn and the moon are in conjunction.
Busy week.
Yep, and Earth is at perihelion. January 5th, moon is on the equator and is at ascending node. And Neptune and the moon are in conjunction, which means that Neptune is on the equator. January 6th, first quarter moon. Oh, I'm done.
Oh. Well, thank you. Great wrap up of 2024. Year in Space and Astronomy. Thank you. Yeah, it was good to learn that stuff because I don't always pay attention to the news.
Yeah, and definitely hunt the links for some of the stuff that you might want to get more information on.
I think you read that one, first quarter moon.
First quarter moon, January 7th is the moon is at perigee,
which is closest.
Yep. January 9th, Uranus and the moon are in conjunction.
January 10th, Jupiter and the moon are in conjunction, and Venus is at its greatest eastern elongation, 47 degrees east. So you're looking for Venus after the sun sets. It's actually their most nights these days. You can go out tonight, and if it's clear enough, you can see Venus in the west setting. But we want to go early.
Yep. Also on January 10th is our Friday night show, where we have a crunchy topic, and Pam says it's somewhat controversial. Okay, it's somewhat controversial, but only somewhat. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel.
What inspires you the most for the coming week? I am going to share something real quick here too, because the new Everyday Spacer poly mailers. Oh gosh, that's really big. There's the front side, and there's the back side. Arrived this week. I'm going to start sending Everyday Spacer swag, my book, whatever I'm shipping out based on Everyday Spacer stuff in these envelopes. So watch for them if you are a Patreon patron and you've sent me your current address. Need to know where to send stuff. I'm still cooking up a giveaway, which will include things like the mailer, the swag. We'll see. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with it. Oh, hey, Ron. Let me go to there. Oh. Let me do Ron. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Ron.
January 10th?
Yeah. That's also the date of the Starship integrated flight test.
Saw something right before the show about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you very much. We really appreciate everybody who shares. It's always a more interesting show when you're here.
Yep. So if you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, January 10th. Pam and I will discuss AI tools that we found.
And that's the 10th, so maybe we'll know something more about Starship.
Yeah. But I've saw a really good article about various AI tools, and Pam's been using them. So we've got two different pools of knowledge here.
So thanks again, folks. Ron, first comment, we really didn't get to say thank you for being here, but thank you for being here, Ron. And Dawn and Scott came.
And Cliff.
And
I
think Janie is probably at the heavy metal concert. I know Thread is playing tonight at Whiskey A Go-Go. It's a very famous place. I thought it was in New York, but it's actually out here. And Thread is the band of, he's a mentor of ours in the area, and it's his son, and he's managing Thread, so kind of exciting. And Janie, who's 77, is probably at the Thread heavy metal concert tonight. We're here, so we couldn't go. Mm-hmm. So, anything else from you?
Nope. I've caused enough trouble.
You have?
At least for them.
Why limit yourself? Oh, for them? Okay. We will continue to watch for your comments as well. Thank you so much for being here, folks. We really appreciate it. Again, it's always a much better show when you're here. So have a great week. Happy New Year. And we'll see you on the 10th.
Yeah. Good night, folks.